If you use your smartphone enough, your brain will begin to believe it's part of your body, and this has a number of really interesting implications for both cognitive science and development, and we'll talk about it. Us as humans have melded with technology. We are a communal species. We offload cognitive load onto other humans. This is why I don't know how to fix an engine, but I know how to do other things. We have taken all of mankind's knowledge and we've put it on the internet. Granted, a lot of people don't use it for knowledge. A lot of people just look at cat videos and other things. When you hear somebody say that a tool should become an extension of your body, apparently that was literal. The more that you use a tool, in this case chopsticks, they became an extension of someone's hands. This is proprioception. It's why you can still use a fork when it's completely dark, because you know where your hand is and that fork is operating as an extension of your hand. Now I will give you a funny counter example, because I had surgery on my foot, and from that point on I started tripping over my toe. My body did not know where my toe was. It did get better over time as my brain mapped the new layout. But yes, there are nerves involved as well as the mapping of your body. Now this research group looked at specifically smartphones. They wanted to know how the brain responds to a cell phone. They mapped people's brains when they had a cell phone in their hand in various orientations and then asked people, is that a left or right hand? Your brain does an interesting thing. If you're looking at a picture of something and you're trying to figure out the orientation, you will imagine turning your hand, whether you're conscious of it or not. Now, this was only true for heavy smartphone users. When they imagined turning their hand, it made no difference whether or not there was a cell phone in it. Meaning, having a phone was reading as an empty hand because it had become part of their cognitive layout. This may incidentally also be why people get so uncomfortable when they switch phones and it's a little bit different. I know I do, but it does alleviate over time, meaning we can... Now this does have some pretty interesting implications. If you've ever gotten a new phone and it was a different size or shape than your old one and it felt uncomfortable, it may have been that you've lost an extension of yourself and now have to map a new one in order to get used to it. The same thing goes for cars. When you are inside one, you are operating an extension of yourself. This also has some interesting implications for what it means to take away a tool. You were given a calculator and now you don't know how to do arithmetic. I do not remember long division, nor do I want to. When you're giving somebody a tool, you are extending their cognition, and our brains are highly plastic. We are meant to be able to live in any world that we are born into. And that means that we can learn to use technology, but it also means we learn to rely on technology. Even if we are assuming that that is true, and I would strongly disagree, we also have to understand that skills are not learned in isolation. Your ability to reason through mathematics or your ability to read literature and understand it impact other areas of your life. Your problem-solving skills for one area are going to be very necessary for another. That is how we develop an intuitive understanding of how the world works, and if we lack that understanding, we will lack in other areas. One very interesting area of this kind of research is that it is not isolated to human beings. You can give rats or mice brain-computer interfaces and they can learn to use the computer in a virtual world, navigate a virtual maze. They have mammal brains too, and they are capable of adapting to entirely new environments, creating an extension of their cognition into a virtual world. The phenomenon we're seeing may just be part of the capacity of a mammal brain. Granted, we haven't really demonstrated it in non-mammals. Our neurons make connections, and then they get reinforced, and then they grow around those connections. When you think about it, it's a perfect system. We don't know if you're going to lose a limb. We don't know what kind of world you're going to be born into, what kind of food is going to be available, or what problems you're going to have to solve. But your brain can adjust. I do have the question, just because of epigenetics. If you took the DNA from somebody who was born 50,000 years ago and cloned them into today's society, how well would they adjust to the technology that we have? We know that fearful memories can be inherited for as many as 7 generations. Yes, you could be afraid of the color red or the smell of lavender because something bad happened with a great-great-grandparent. I do wonder how much of our capacity to use the tools in front of us is inherited, and whether or not that's affected by how rapidly technology is changing. Did this make you want to put down your smartphone or make you want to learn a new skill? Because for me, the answer is yes.